palace. So let us tell you about Palace. Rolling straight to the ceiling, crowns and crystals, top like journeys, dishing out malice. Hold up, South London's grandest, far from bandits. Anything earned for a goal of innovation. Just passing the team over here might finish out bright future we can't vanish. It's E25 any day, that's sellers. Rev up the engines, no more reverse reactions. Fan cams, bands on stream. Share up the team, support the dream team. When eagles fly, make noise and scheme. Dare to dream or dream to dare. Taking a step to become supreme.
I am sorry. Dan and Tim, if you've been sitting there for about 15 seconds thinking, why haven't I said anything? My intro always seems to lag.
Yeah, mine lags as well.
Okay, so it wasn't just me. All right, we're live. We good? Can you hear me? We're all good?
We're all good. We're all good.
So, chat, right. Can you hear us?
That's a good point. Can you hear us, chat?
Yeah.
Guys, initially, this was scheduled as the FREDRIKSTAD match reaction, but we had to change things. we are going to discuss the game very briefly. Tim is anyway. If you want to hear me and Dan's thoughts, it's on the fan cams. We'll probably just repeat the same thing because there wasn't much to discuss.
Yeah.
But the post match, and you know what? I only caught wind of it after I did all the editing. My laptop was acting up, and it took me a while to get the fan cams and player cams. So for me, some of them were up at like 3 a.m. For Tim, it's like perfect, something to watch in the evening.
Yeah.
And then I thought, let me go and see what's going on. And then I looked back at the post-match interviews and press conferences, and I went, oh my days. So we need to talk about this. Dan, how's it going?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I mean, very quickly touch on the game yesterday, obviously, on a more positive note, obviously, first game, bit frustrating. On another day, I think we could have won it by more goals. But ultimately, they just sat in their low block, hoping just to take a reasonable deficit back to their home ground, which they did, to be fair to them. And credit to them, and credit to their manager as well. He played a lot differently to how they play in the league. And they made it difficult for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought it was a bit mad because, like, obviously you got the game, people maybe a bit frustrated that we haven't won by more goals or whatever. And I just I'm on the bus home. I had to go straight, and I was just like refreshing Twitter, and I'm seeing all these like posts with like Bobby and like Ed Aaron's, like with all these quotes. And I'm just like, oh my God, I haven't watched any of them, so I don't know if I'm taking any out of context, but wow, they don't sound good. And even like mates I know who are watching it, like neutrals in terms of Palace, they were just like, they just thought it was a bit of a car crash. So, and I think it sounds like it was a car crash, to be honest. But yeah, but other than that,
when we break this down,
other than that, I'm good.
How are you, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all right. I mean, look, the under 21s are up 2-0 at Tottenham, so that's good. I'll take whatever I can get. But yeah, I was very worried coming out of those comments yesterday because you have a manager who says one thing and a chairman who says another, and that is never going to be a good thing. So I know we're going to get into that. I'll just get us past the game really quick here because I think I don't think my take is any different than yours. On another day, it's 3-4-0, hit the post twice. Munoz hits the post, Mateta hits the post, a little bit unlucky in both of those. Sarr has a couple of good chances. Yeah. One where he heads it right at the goalkeeper, another where just his touch lets him down. But it's still like one where he actually, one time he gets in behind and it's a great ball and it's just his touch let him down. So like it could have been 3 or 4-0. I don't think the game plan was bad. I think we played perfectly fine, but a little bit profligate, missing those chances. And like you said, fair play to FREDRIKSTAD. They gave no space whatsoever. And you know what? I mean, I've been a Palace fan long enough to see us do that to other teams. So, like, I mean,
Yeah.
like, would it, that's what they had to do? I have no problem with it. Like, that is what they had to do.
No, absolutely. And just on that, I think it's kind of good practice. We needed that, I think, as well. Like, looking back at it, we needed, because there may be more teams. Granted, we make it through the second leg. There may be more teams that play that way. We now got to figure out how to go past it. Plus, it also shows the type of players we actually need in the squad.
Yeah.
Just two very quick questions, Tim. It's on two players on yesterday. Let's start with Justin Devaney, playing in the 10 position. Now, for me personally, I think he's better in midfield. I think, and it's not his fault. He obviously had to play that position because that's allegedly ill. He doesn't have the knack to run at players. Star can do it to an extent, but he struggled in a low block. Do you think we'll see Justin continue there up until a signing and win? Because I don't think it works.
I mean, it's not ideal, but we know that this is just, I mean, Dan, I think I would like you to weigh in on this. I think that he is very much a Glasner player. Direct, a lot of energy. It gets up and down the pitch quickly, goes box to box, defends as intensely as he gets forward. So he ticks all of those boxes that Glasner wants. But he is effective if he finds himself in some space and then he gets time to put a shot on target. But I tend to agree that if he's middle of the park and he uses that energy to get on the ball, get a quick turnover, and move the ball forward, I think he's very effective at that.
Yeah.
I think he's really effective at that. And I think that's one of the reasons Glasner loves him. But I also think that Glasner wants pace, energy, commitment, defend as hard as you attack, and be direct. I think he has those attributes, and that's why Glasner rates him. The other players that I'm sure you're going to bring up, Rich, are a bit more volatile, and for whatever reason, they have not won the confidence of our manager. And I wish I knew why that is.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the question going forward. And you said you wanted Dan to weigh in before we talk about another player quickly.
I mean, but do you think that's right about Devaney, Dan?
Yeah, I agree. I think the thing is, I don't think he had a great game yesterday, but I don't think it was his kind of game.
Yeah.
Like you said, like he's very tenacious. He's good at winning balls in the middle and then kind of setting us on a way. It wasn't that game. They sat in a low block, which, let's be honest, even the best team struggles to break down those blocks, especially a very well organized one.
Yep.
And the thing is, when you have a low block, you need someone who can beat their man, I think. And he just can't really do that. I don't think he's just not that kind of guy. To be honest with you, I've never really seen him as a 10, to be honest. I've only ever seen him as like an 8, really. Like, I feel like when he plays a 10, really, it's more like it's kind of withdrawn a bit, and then really it's kind of Sara Mateta up front. Whenever I see him play there.
You know what he reminds me of is he is Gallagher without the shot. Like, he doesn't have the same shot, but he's got the energy, runs forever, goes box to box, wins the ball, runs into space. He does all of those things I loved about Conor Gallagher, except he doesn't have the shot. He doesn't put himself in positions and score a bunch of goals. That's not his game. But all of those other attributes, he does all those other things.
As well. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Right. I did say those 2 players. There's 3, actually. Second one. Tim, Bonus Sosa, how do you think he got on yesterday?
I thought he did pretty well. I mean,
Thank you. I was not the only one that said that.
Yeah, I thought he did pretty well.
Were you the only one that thought that? I thought he played
I'm the
well
only one yesterday. JC said he had a poor game. Nikki said he had a poor game. Chen was like, all right.
I don't agree with that.
Only attacking out.
I don't agree with that. I think he was. I thought he was decent. Now, does he need to, kind of work on his shooting? Yeah,
Yeah.
of course he does. But I thought he had some tasty crosses. I loved how he was getting into
He
space,
wastes no time crossing that ball in, by the way.
and which is great, right?
Yeah,
Like, this
we
is
want
what
that.
we've been begging
Yeah.
for.
No,
And a
absolutely.
decent set piece on him too. And I think this was something I noticed. Guys, check the thread on Twitter if you want to see. But I did do a thread on him, and my only criticisms of him really, and I did see it yesterday, are that I would like him to beat a man maybe a bit more. I feel like this is purely my opinion. Is only kind of like a thought really. I feel like maybe he lacks a bit of confidence because obviously he went through. Obviously he was like part of that Ajax team who were very good, and then he ended up going to Stuttgart, didn't work out, and then he's gone to 2 more places after that, and it's not worked out, and he's kind of been shuffled away from Ajax. So I wonder if he's just lacking a bit of confidence. But certainly, like I thought he did some good crosses. Certainly better than what Mitchell can put in. And he's good at, and he's got a good set piece on him as well. And yeah.
And right and cute. This is not a Mitchell slander, by the way. He just has a better cross than Mitchell does, and we have to accept that.
Yeah.
But that really is brilliant because it's one of those few areas in this team where we've given Glasner options.
Yeah.
In a different game, Mitchell's going to be suited for it.
Yeah. Mitchell's back in on Sunday because we need him.
Yeah.
We need him against Forest.
100%.
Spot on.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. Right, the last bit, and then we'll get some comments and we'll talk about the post-match aftermath. Romain Essay. What's happening? Because my goodness me, I don't think any of us thought Odsonne Edouard was going to return to play a game for Crystal Palace.
I mean, can I give you my face when I saw the Odsonne Edouard, substitute? I was like,
Go for it.
What? I mean, I was genuinely really confused when I saw that. That's the only way I can describe that because, and then we were in chats. I think I was on the, just trying to describe, I don't understand this. Are we going to show Eddie, is this okay,
Is this a
want him to
showcase
get
sort of
sold, so we need to show off what he can do? I don't think this is the forum for it, but is that the reason he's out there?
For me, I thought maybe it's because Edouard's got experience. Because to be fair, the others are young, and there was only one.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So that was my initial thought, and then I thought, but they weren't really a threat. So
It's
no.
very confusing, man. It's really confusing. Plus, when you were, it's very strange. Who does he come on for? He comes on for Devaney. That's what it was. He comes on for Devaney. So he doesn't even come on to give JP a blow, which is even more confusing. And what you need, you would think, especially on that left side, it's some trickery, which feels like that is, I mean, I know he's raw, but that is Essay's specialty. So I thought that's what was happening, and it's very weird.
Yeah. One thing I will give Edouard credit for in yesterday's game is that he at least moved around to try and find those pockets. It's just when it came to him, he couldn't control the ball and stuff, or he lost it and he couldn't do a successful dribble and stuff like that. But he was finding the right pockets. And I mean, if that flick came off to Sarr, that would have been a very decent potential assist.
He also has a pretty good shot there towards in the second
effort,
second half that gets deflected, but there weren't many of those moments.
There weren't many. Right. Dan, could you take us through some comments? I know
there's quite a few, so I will be
I know you've mentioned about Nuno. That's the last thing on our agenda today.
Big up Spiritual, indeed up the Palace. I know it's all a bit negative right now, but we did play our first European game. I wish we got to give Ebbs a farewell. I think we'll be talking about that in a bit. Also, Jemede starting for the under-21. He should be in the first team squad now.
I generally think he had a bit of a knock recently, didn't he?
He did?
Oh,
I didn't know that.
I feel like one of the
He
youth
wasn't-
team did have a
he
knock, but I
wasn't
can't
in the
remember.
Chelsea. He wasn't in the squad for Chelsea, was he?
No, I don't think
No.
he.
So
I don't think he
I
was.
generally think this may be him just getting some minutes.
Yeah, I think so. And also, I think there's an argument to be that even if he didn't get an injury, would we rather he get minutes there or sit on the bench?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we're going to talk about this a bit more, Louis. Good evening, Damo. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Something isn't right. Yeah, well, I think we're going to talk about it soon. Big up, Mr. Pecker. Thank you for tuning in. Big up, Chairman. Big up, love the game. Yeah, it's been a very frustrating summer, to be honest. I've tried to ignore this summer, to be honest. I think that might be why I've missed my predictions twice in a row. Sliding doors, right? You know what? I totally agree. Like, we'll talk about it in depth later, but in short, I agree. Spiritual, not happy about Steve Parish. Good evening, Animal. Yeah, and it looks like a lot of people are agreeing with that notion about Steve Parish. I did a very interesting tweet earlier, or was it last night? And I've got the results. I put a poll up last night, and I'll share the results later. Hey, did you see my tweet? Did you see it, Rich?
No, I'll have a look now. I was just asking, did you dance on your poll?
No. No pole dancing. Yeah, I think, you know what, all of these opinions, obviously, we'll talk. I think we will obviously bring up, and I think we'll all somewhat share these views. But yeah, absolutely, Gus has done a job beyond expectation. The only people who've dragged us are the owners. If it doesn't change, he'll walk. You know, this is my biggest fear. I agree, Ron. And I think I'm starting to wonder whether maybe it's a bit too far gone now. Chairman saying Fredrikstad didn't just park the bus; they built the whole depot.
Well done.
And yeah, just very quickly on the game. Yeah, I totally agree. I think next week they have to beat us to even force extra time. So yeah, I think there will be a lot more open. Big up JC, and then thank you for the comments, guys. I'm just gonna skip through some. Big up UK Pat. Some of them we may come back to when we're talking about particular subjects. Very quickly, yes or no? Raheem Sterling, good signing for Palace?
Oh, come on.
He's a good loan signing if we already had targets in place.
Yeah.
Like, for experience. That is it. But his wages are stupid. Like,
yeah, his wages are mad.
It's the wrong guy. It's the wrong guy. Just don't.
Yeah. And then
it's gonna happen.
Mixed opinions on Borna Sosa. And good news. Big up Durfez. Our under 21s are beating Spurs 2-0. So
yeah, they look good.
Every cloud. Cloud.
There you go.
Who else is in there? I know Chloe is in the chat, so big up to Chloe as well.
Yeah, big up Chloe.
Shannon, if this is your first time, welcome. If it's not, apologies, because it must mean I must have missed you in the chat somewhere, and apologies. But yeah, I was saying that I wonder that's probably what it was. I can't think of anything else, or
maybe
training one.
Yeah,
because to be fair, when full time, and obviously they pan to Glasner coming out the dugout, Essie's face, like, he was not happy.
No, definitely not.
All right. Let's go. Let's start. Right. First things first. Quickly. Ebbs. The reports are saying that he's ill. Now, it's clear he was at the game because he got caught at the end of the game. By none other than Gary Cottrell.
Oh,
Gary Cottrell was lurking. Funny enough, me and Nikki were walking past and we're like, no way is that Gary Cottrell. You know, and if it was 16, 17, 18-year-old Rich, I might have got arrested. I might have slapped my hamstring. But yeah, so Ebbs was at the game.
Yeah.
What do we make of that then?
Oh,
Because-
he's gone.
No, we knew he was gone, but obviously Glasner's been saying, I think I'm a bit glitchy, but Glasner's been saying he's playing, and then he'll go. But then he doesn't play. Now, is that Arsenal saying to him, don't play, it's too risky? Or is it Parish saying, Ed, you have to sit this one out, mate?
I don't. You're giving Ebbs too much of a pass here, Rich.
Oh, no, that was my... Actually, that's a good point. Or is Ebbs just...
What Ebbs has chosen?
Yeah.
I think that is... I'm disappointed. Nothing changes my opinion of him, but that was disappointing. What I would have rather heard, and I would have rather have heard it from Ebbs, is the truth. This is my dream transfer. I know that I said I was going to play, and I love this club, and if all things being equal, I would play, but I can't do anything to risk the transfer I've been waiting for my whole life. That would have been true. I would have heard that and said, like, I'm disappointed. I'm sad you're going, but I get it. Go on and do whatever you need to do. I don't like the games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can tell, because I don't know if you've heard Glasner's post-match, when they kept asking him about Eze, and it was literally one-word answers. Apart from he goes, he's not play. He will never play for the club again. Like he was fuming, you know. So that's what makes me think, yeah, Eze's called him up and said, I ain't playing today. And he's obviously got mad, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next. Glasner gets interviewed by Channel 5 and says, Mark Guehi cannot leave. 2 minutes after that interview, Steve Parish comes on, same broadcast. It will be an issue if we allow someone like him to leave for free.
Yep.
What is going on with our club? What's going on? It's clear. Parish and Glasner are not aligned in whatever's happening. If Mark ends up leaving before the window closes, there is going to be a massive problem. But then there's going to be a problem anyway if he stays anyway, because financially it's going to not be great at all. It's going to obviously hinder our cash flow. But my goodness me, to have that as back-to-back, like, I expect that from Glasner because he's a manager. He's going to say what he's saying. But then for Parish to come out and then... Anyway, what's your thoughts, guys?
Dan, go on.
Well, I mean, where'd you begin? So one thing I think is worth mentioning. I think this was something that was kind of brought up before, like, because obviously they were umming and ahhing about selling Guehi. I think there is a reasonable case to kind of say, is it actually worth selling him anymore? Like, forget what happened last night and whatever. Is it actually worth it? Because by the time, even a week ago, by the time we sold him, say we sell him 35 mil, and then we still got to pay 20% on the profit, which I think it'd be about 17 mil profit. So that's about 3-4 mil as well. So really, you're only getting about 30 mil. And that might not necessarily be up front. So I think there is a fair suggestion to say, you know, Mark is kind of not pointless letting Mark go. But I actually think in a way it would actually be better, because when it comes to next summer, okay, he will go, but at least we know that he's going to go. And I think a lot of the problem is, you know, it's been several weeks of is he, isn't he? And I think that uncertainty has really, I don't know whose fault it is, but the uncertainty has hurt us, because at the end of the day, if we don't know, we're not going to go and get someone else. So, yeah. But I mean, when you got your manager saying one thing and then the owner saying something completely different immediately after, it's like, yeah. And also, I feel, I mean, maybe he's just saying it because he's on cameras and like he can't say anything certain. But I don't know. I just feel like it felt like they were still undecided, and it's like, you've got 9 days until the end of the window. It's fine being undecided about maybe a player you're going to bring in after you sold them, but you haven't even sold them yet, so you need to decide.
Right. Let me give a little context here. So I think it's bad, but it's also not as bad as some of the hysterical reactions. So let's get the context here. The context is what Glasner said is that Mark cannot leave before the next leg in Fredrikstad. That is not possible. He can't do that because as of the night, so not last night, but the night before at 11 p.m., the Conference League rosters are frozen. So if Mark leaves before the second leg, then you have no way to pull somebody else up and fill that center back position. Doesn't matter who you sign because the roster is frozen for the Conference League. So that was his main point. But I think from a broader perspective, so he was saying that he's being very specific to the Conference League. And then what Parish was saying is like, look, if we don't sell him before the end of the window, we might have an issue here. And I think that, again, I'm not as down on Steve Parish as a lot of people in this chat are. I still think he's the guy I want as the chairman of the club. But on this one, I think he's done himself a real disservice here. And I think he's hurt us as a club on this particular issue, because if you say that, then you are putting pressure on yourself this window to sell Mark now. And Liverpool's going to sniff that, and they ain't raising their bid. Why would you? You have no reason to raise your bid at that point. You still have another window after this. Now, granted, once January rolls around, if Mark wants Barcelona and he wants Real Madrid and they want him, he can sign a pre-contract in January. So that's an issue. If Liverpool want him, they would have to wait. And if they want him, they would have to buy him and take him away from Madrid or Barcelona in January. And so you probably still wouldn't get 35 million pounds, but you'd get something. You'd get something. You could still sell in January. So it's not that absolute. And I think by saying, like, sort of dealing in absolutes there, I think he probably got it a bit wrong. He probably wasn't maybe thinking like that, and it's a little bit emotional in the moment, but there is some context here. There's a little bit of wiggle room. But the broader point of, like, they're aligned in some areas, but in this area, I mean, you can't be this misaligned in public on anything. So
So bad. Right. This one I found very interesting. We had 17 outfield players available. Granted, there are injuries as well.
Yeah.
There was one from the academy and two who we have already told they should leave the club. That means we have 14. Then having 6 games from the 10th of August to the 31st. It's not the best way to start the season. So I'm going to point this up to you. Who are the two he was referring to? Because on the obvious answers are Edward and Jez. But is it?
I mean, my initial thoughts would be Jez and Eddie, because obviously they tried to. I think that, there's been links, and I think there's obviously Eddie went on loan to Leicester last season. I know Jez went on loan as well. And As a slight, this is just something I've literally just thought about, so this could be totally wrong. But where do you reckon Ahamada fits in all of this? I know he said he was he available for yesterday, or was he injured?
I don't know if he's injured, but I don't think he was in the subs bench.
So I think because obviously he said available, so I don't know if that means he was available and you just didn't pick him. But then obviously that's even more damning because we can have a bench of 12 in the Conference League and we only pick 9
with 2 keepers.
with 2
Yeah.
keepers.
Right.
So, I mean, my initial reaction would be Eddie for certain, and I think it would be Jez. I feel like it's got to be. I can't see who else it would be.
Yeah, I think it's those two as well. And just him not being in the under 21s today makes me think either he's making up the numbers for Forest or he's on his way out the door. Because I don't think it's not that I don't think Jess is a good player, but I do not think he fits the Glasner system.
Yeah.
He's
Well, maybe now that obviously Tyler Dibling's going to Everton, maybe just
confirmed
to
now?
be pretty much, yeah, Ornstein's. I don't go with Fredriksstad. Like he likes to hear we go early and stuff. I don't know. So Ornstein's pretty much said it's a done deal.
Okay.
So maybe just could be going Southampton. Yeah. So I know they were looking at him anyway. Oh no. Right. What's the next bit? Let me make sure I get the right overlay. I asked this one, I think it is. No, this one. I asked Glasner if he feels disheartened by how the transfer window has panned out. He says it is best to not say how I feel. Now, I want to caveat that because I saw a clip that was put around on social media. I think it's when he was Frankfurt manager, and he goes off. Like, he was angry. And you can tell from yesterday's one where that it's as if it was seeping through, and he's doing his best to remain calm. Like you could tell this guy is not happy. He is not happy. You know, Spurs have got one back, by the way.
Yeah, bummer.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I believe there was reports saying that Ebbs will only go once our replacements 100% lined up. And it seemed as if there was like the domino effect. So it'll be Ebbs to go, El Canoes to come in, then Leicester will get like it will just go. But El Canoes has now gone quiet. Where do we go?
Well, if he goes quiet, that's not necessarily
it's not the
bad.
worst thing, yeah.
Yeah, because it might mean that we are on the verge of signing him because it always is like out of the blue. So I don't know, but it's very frustrating. Just a quick thing on Glasner. He is very rarely does he, and I don't think he's ever done this. Left a job mid-season. I don't think he's ever done that. So I think we can reasonably expect he'll stay to the end of the season. But as of right now, I don't know how we extend him. That's a tough one. I don't know that we've given him any reasons to extend.
But ain't that where the frustration lies? Because he's our greatest manager ever. Whatever, he's done amazing things for us. You would have thought that, yeah, look, we understand there's going to be financial issues, whatever it may be. And obviously the whole aspect of if obviously our billionaire owners got involved and it dilutes shares and Parish will have a decision to make and so on and so forth. I get that. But surely you've got to come together as a four and say, we need to do everything we can to get this man to at least sign an extra 1 year, maybe 2 year extension. And by doing that, it's just making him happy this window.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Absolutely.
It does seem like, yeah, it's very difficult. I'm So let me give you and then we can address the Parish out contingent, because there's a lot of it in this chat. So I'm going to tell you why I am not. I tend to be on the, Andy McDonald is in here, and Andy and I tend to be more aligned on this, but I will concede the frustrations. And the frustrations are real, because the way we've recruited in the past few windows, with the exception of January is very weird. We've had bad summer windows and then really shockingly interesting January windows. Like, all the best business over the past couple of seasons has been in January. It's really strange. But it still doesn't feel like we are doing what the manager has asked for. And it also feels like there's too much from, I guess I'll put this on Parish, but just broadly, the club is like, trust us, we know what we're doing. And that's true. I mean, sure, I trust the club. I do think they know what they're doing. But in the absence of like information and stuff to hope for, it is really easy to get desperate. So I kind of get it. But here's my argument for the reverse. I would still, even with the frustrations I feel right now, I do not trust putting this club in the hands of somebody who is not rooted to the community in which it exists. What makes Crystal Palace Football Club special, and I know I'm just a simple American on this, but there's many reasons that I love this club, and one of the biggest ones is I think the community club aspect of English football is totally underrated. It is very special. I think it is super important, and we are one of the few clubs in the Prem that still has it. And I think that is worth preserving at all costs. I do not want to hand this club over to somebody with billions of dollars who might run it right into the ground with no care whatsoever about what it means to the community. I just don't think that's right. I think the risk is too great.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's definitely something that obviously, as a club, I don't think any of us would want. Whoever, if Parish decides to walk, that next appointment has to be, is so crucial, because it could literally dictate to us where we go as a club. But at the same time, as it stands, I think it's the last 4 summers we've been complaining about the same thing.
I know.
Vieira's first season, he did wonders, didn't get backed. Roy Hodgson saved us after Vieira's fall, didn't get backed.
Yeah.
And then Glasner twice. Well, I'm not saying he's not been backed yet, because obviously he did get players in, but he got them too late. Last season, 4 on transfer deadline day. He wanted them beforehand. He made it clear this year, and apparently he was promised to get them earlier. If that was the case, then we should have had that contingency plan of saying, all right, cool, we're going to sell Eze and thing. That's what we're doing. So everyone knows, like there should have been, all right, here's plan A, here's plan B. It literally is like we're kind of just going through the motions, And the last tweet I found, Ed Aaron's, he likes to get about himself, doesn't he? Says lack of signings this summer. We're very, very late to find replacements. I think we could behave much better than we did. It's not the best way to start the season. I think we are below the edge.
I don't think he's wrong.
It's a damning statement, which then also goes into. So let me just go back to the chat. Hurry up. But Nate sent a message. Well, he sent a super chat, so I'll big up Nate. I'm just scrolling up to see if there we go. Now, thanks for the super chat, Nate. So there, we are Last Minute FC.
Last Minute FC.
Contracts Stadium. Yeah, now big up again for the super chat, Nate. Really, really appreciate that. Right. Last talking point. I know this won't happen. However, I found it very interesting that Nuno is on bad terms right now with Forest, to the point where they're even thinking he might get sacked. It looks as if they're looking at Ange. But beforehand, I was thinking it would be so Marinakis to say, well, Oliver, I spend money.
It can't go on like this, can it?
And Parish ain't been treating you right. Look at what he's done to your club. Look, he didn't read his emails and stuff. Like, if you fancy, just I don't see it happening. But when I heard that Nuno looks might be on his way out, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, the problems we're having at the moment. Oh my, don't do this to me. I don't see it happening. I don't see Glasner going to Forest.
No.
But I just thought I'll bring that up. I don't know if you knew about this. But
I did see something about Nuno, but I didn't know it was that. I didn't realize it was that serious. But I think going back to what Tim said earlier, I can't see Glasner leaving. I don't think he would leave in the middle of the season, because he did do that at Frankfurt. Like they said, I think, I'm not sure when, maybe like March or April, that he would leave at the end of the season. So I don't think he would go. And obviously, if they're falling out now and he's imminently going to get sacked, I can't see it happening. I hope it don't happen. Otherwise, I might have a grudge against Forest for the rest of my life.
You know what? This is a point though. Like I said, I don't think it's happening. But if it gets a bit frayed on our end as well, Texas always liked Glasner.
Yeah, but Texter isn't in control of Lyon anymore. They have a
He's
new.
not. But he's best buddies with that Greek fraud.
Yeah. You know what? I think that I just don't. I'm with you guys. I don't see it happening, and I think that Glasner is a culture coach, and I think he's. Yeah, I don't think he fits with Marinakis, and I mean, don't get me wrong, Rich. I think Marinakis is absolutely a fraud. I have, like, the only thing I'm annoyed with as far as Forrest goes is that guy. That's really it. I'm not annoyed with the team. I'm not annoyed with the fans, but I think that Marinakis lied over and over and over again. That letter was not every report we've seen since that initial letter. I know now I'm making an American reference. This is an American political reference. It's Tucker Carlson. I'm just asking questions. You can say the most horrible stuff, but I'm just asking questions. That was the thing. Like, sent the letter. Oh, we're just asking questions. No, they weren't. They were, that. And this is not the Forest fans. This is Marinakis saying, like, well, Palace broke the rules. And ever since then, that it just doesn't fit. But who knows? I don't believe anything anymore. It's completely strange. But what I will say, though, Rich, is despite how frustrated this whole situation makes me feel, Glasner is a natural optimist. He believes in the culture he's built at the club. And I don't think what I've read, like in terms of watching his body language and his comments, I don't think it's anger so much as I think. Here, let me explain. I don't think it's so much anger as it is disappointment and hurt. I think he feels hurt, betrayed, and really disappointed because he thought, and I think he really believes it. I think he's a true believer that he could take our club to a different level. I think he genuinely believes that. And so with the things that he's been promised that not been given, I don't think he's pissed, Rich. I think he's hurt, I think he feels betrayed. I think he feels lied to. I think he feels disappointed because he wants this. And that to me is like the biggest sin, that we have a true believer and we need to do more to like give this true believer what he needs to take us to what we all want.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And to Andy McDonald's point here, he just gets it with us. He gets it. And that's, I think, transfer, we will speculate, we will say, oh, players come, players go and stuff. Losing Glasner at the end of the season, because I believe that's my prediction, that's going to happen. I hate that I'm speaking into existence, but I'm just being real about it.
Yeah, same.
I think that's going to hurt us so much more than like losing Ebbs, losing Mark. Totally. I love those players as well, but losing Glasner will be damning, and I'm scared to think who might be the next manager.
Especially when the next manager is going to be Gareth Southgate.
No! Oh, gosh. And see.
But I think that's a thing, isn't it? Like, I think people have taken. You know what? I'm going to share it. I'm going to share my tweet. I was going to say I tweeted earlier. Whether you agree with this or not, I think this is an indication of at least what people on Twitter kind of are thinking at the moment. So I put out a tweet last night saying, who would you rather keep for certain for the next 5 years, Parish or Glasner? 442 people voted and 90% put Glasner.
Wow.
90%. It wasn't even close. Like, so I think, to be honest, I think that's more of an indication of how overperforming I think Glasner's been.
I think I know one of the 10%. Stuart Shave.
Yeah, I think I know a few of them, to be fair. There's one question, actually. I don't know if we got any. Is there any other topics?
No, we've covered everything.
There's one thing, and I kind of want to ask Tim this because I feel like he knows a lot more about this than I do.
Uh-oh.
So there's been suggestions that, and where is it? I don't know. Some people did put it in the chat earlier. So if this was you, I apologize. I can't find your comment anymore. But there has been talk about what if Parish stepped away from ownership and just became like a chairman who runs the club day to day. How would that, like, I don't know if like you have any thoughts on that, of like, would that change anything, or would that, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know what it means because I've seen people suggesting it, but I don't know what that means really.
Well, if he if he became an employee of the club and the ownership were to shift over, and then he was the chairman in order to run operations, but he wasn't, he didn't have the equity and he wasn't responsible for, you know, the budgets and the funding and all that sort of stuff, then he would just make the best operational decisions he could, and he'd be a little freer.
But then he runs the risk of him getting sacked himself.
Yeah, and
that's what I wondered. Yeah,
I mean, I think I probably would have voted, even though I'm a Steve Parish fan, I would have probably voted for Glasner too for this reason. Like, he came in 2010, like he said, 15 years. Like, it's been a long time, and I am sure it has been an exhausting ride for him. And there was always this idea that he wanted to get the main stand done to try to, like, this is another thing that I really appreciate about him. What Steve Parish, I think, wants more than anything is to improve the structure of the club so much that it cannot be broken again. Like, I think he is like the thing that's in his head is, I'm going to make this club so durable, the foundation so strong that a little bit of apologies to Simon Jordan, but Simon Jordan can't come along again and break this thing in half. Like, this is what I'm going to make this club durable. This will never, the trauma that we have seen at this club will never happen again. When I'm gone, it can never happen again. Like, I think that's what he wants. And so when he's satisfied that's happened, and I think the main stand, like getting that done and the revenue that would bring in, lifting that revenue up a certain amount is kind of like his swan song to say, like, okay, I did it. This club cannot be broken again in the way that it was in the past. And I admire him for that. But that is, I mean, Dan, that is at odds with what's more important? The club can't be broken in half, or the club, rises into, like, what do we want more? And I think as fans, like, is stability more important to us, or would we take the last 10 years of Leicester City winning a title, winning an FA Cup, but bouncing around and back down to the championship and not knowing if they're ever coming back up to the Prem? Like, which is more important to us? I know what's more important to Steve Parish. He never wants to go through the trauma again. But I think there are legitimately some fans who'd be like, you give me 10 years, that Leicester City 10 years. All right, I'll take that. I'll take my chances. I'll roll the dice. You're going to give me a Premier League title, FA Cup, Champions League football? I'll take those 10 years and I'll roll the dice and see how bad it gets.
Guys, we'll leave it there because otherwise I think we're starting to get up.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
I mean, it's a little too philosophical, you know what I mean? But
yeah, no, I get what you mean, Tim. And to be fair, like, I think if you ask people what is more important, some people will say it's stability. Some people will say it's, like you say, just rolling that dice and, maybe doing like a Leicester or whatever.
Yeah.
Different things obviously mean different people and stuff like that. And yeah, there's loads and loads and loads of comments, guys. We really, really appreciate it. Sorry we've not gone through. I'll just do some
there's
shout
good
outs to
stuff in
people who
here,
haven't
yeah.
haven't mentioned, but like big up Skeeter Moose for replying. Big up Ben S, thank you very much. Big up Rory as well, Rory McLaughlin. Big up Mary. Big up Andy McDonald as well.
Yeah, no Sean's in the chat as well.
Yeah,
big up
lots of good
Sean.
stuff.
Big up Pat.
If there's any questions you've put up and we haven't answered it, or you want any other follow-up questions, once the stream ends, go back to this stream and put it in the comment section.
Yes.
We'll read through it and we'll answer as many as we can. But you know what? And even if you want to, who would your next two target? Who should our two targets be for the 10 position? Because I know that the list is just whittling down now. Who's the next two? Who's the two? I don't know.
Does Hindo make it? Does he make the?
Oh, I don't know. I think he's a bit young.
I know.
He is, but I would have still blooded him in games.
Yeah, I want to see more of Hindo this year, but we do need more. Obviously, we need more recruiting. Of course, we do.
Right. Smash the like button, guys. Thanks for obviously joining us. I know it peaked up to about like 80 watching. Just please hit the like button on the way out. Really helps the channel. Like I said, drop a comment or a question in the comment section afterwards. What we got? So we've got the first preview tomorrow with Door on Tour. I know some of you were thinking, is it Wolfie? It isn't Wolfie. I think for our channel and also for the chat, I wouldn't do that to you. I know you lot would have sent mad abuse. So yeah, we got Door on Tour, who actually does feel sorry for us. Like, he is a first fan that does feel sorry for us. And then Sunday, Nikki's gonna do the watch along whilst we're at the game, and then we'll have the fan cams for Sunday as well. And then it's another busy week next week, and then school starts the week after. So we'll be much more strategic. But next week there will be a watch along too, because obviously we're at FREDRIKSTAD too. Right, I've got another stream to jump on in a couple minutes. Funny enough, I am actually jumping on Wolfie's stream. Guys, wish me luck. Like, share, subscribe. Appreciate you all. And as always, out the palace.
Up the palace.
Eagles.